Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Focus on Finances. My name is Jamie Fleming, and as a lot of you know, I work with a lot of business owners. So I thought I would talk today about something that comes up quite often, and that is when a business owner is looking for an exit strategy for the business. So today we're going to talk and look at 8 business exit strategies for you to consider. First, you want to know, what is a business exit strategy? And that is a plan for what will happen when you want to leave your business. This strategy describes and outlines the form that the transition will take. So just like you've written a business plan, hopefully, to guide your business through its life, you should have one that guides it to its conclusion. Your business exit strategy doesn't have to mean disaster or failure or even imminent action. In fact, many business owners, and I recommend this, start their business with the express purpose of exiting after a certain number of years, or at least know what that's going to look like. It doesn't mean they're less committed entrepreneurs. It just means they have a plan in place. That being said, as you think about your business exit strategy, you'll not only want to consider how you'll leave, but also other factors that are involved with the process. Will you make money when you exit your business? How much money will you make? Is that going to be enough for your other financial plans? What will happen to your business after you leave? Will it continue under new ownership? How long will your exit take? What kind of transition period is involved with the particular strategy that you choose? So you'll want to look at different options, and here are some strategies to consider. We'll explore some of the different options you have in terms of an exit strategy. At the end of the day, there isn't necessarily a wrong or right way to exit your business, but there are certainly options that may work better for you depending on your particular situation. So let's look at these 8 strategies, discussing what they might look like and some pros and cons of each option. The first one to consider is continuing the legacy in the family. I see this a lot in my work, and this is definitely an option that a lot of business owners want. Many entrepreneurs do want to keep their business in the family long term, and that means making plans for transitioning the company to a child or another relative at a certain point. This may seem like a really attractive business exit strategy because you can groom successors over time. Just make sure your family relationships can handle the volatility and stress of business ownership. Entrepreneurship is something that is ingrained in the person doing the business. Not everybody has that or even wants that. And although keeping the business in the family for multiple generations may seem like the best way to preserve your name in the business, it's important to be practical about who is really the best person for the job of running your business. So here are a couple of pros. You can choose and prepare the person you want to continue your business when you leave. And you don't have to completely separate from your business and may be able to stay on in some sort of transitional or ongoing advisory role. A few cons to consider, though, is you may not find a family member who wants to or is capable of taking on the business. This process may bring a lot of emotional, financial, and general stress to your family. And then employees and business partners or even investors may not support the individual in your family that you choose. So you want to make sure that this transition is something that the business can handle as well as your family. The next thing to consider, or the other exit strategy to consider, is merge or become acquired by another business. So with a merger or acquisition business exit strategy, your company is either purchased by or merges with a company with similar or aligned goals to your business. Depending on who you merge with or sell your business to, this method can mean flexibility in terms of your involvement or the freedom to just walk away altogether. So the best thing about this exit strategy is the ability to negotiate the price of the sell, whereas selling to the public or an IPO would value your company relative to the industry. This process can take a long time, however, if it happens at all. So you can use different ways of evaluating the business. And sometimes when you go on, a lot of sources estimate that only 20% of businesses listed for sale actually get bought. So you want to keep that into consideration. If it's your dream to merge or get acquired, you might have to have a plan B just in case. So only 20% of businesses actually get sold. I was really surprised at that number, but it actually shouldn't surprise me too much. Here are some pros of this exit strategy. You'll be able to have a clean break from your business if that's what you actually want. And you can negotiate the terms, price, and other details of your merger or acquisition. Some of the cons, this can be a time-consuming, costly, and even unsuccessful process. Your business may cease to exist as it once was, with a range of possible consequences associated with this action. The third exit strategy is to become part of what's called an acquihire. Different from a traditional acquisition, this exit strategy plan is one in which a company buys out your business simply for the sake of acquiring its talented or skilled employees. Although this means your legacy may not endure in name, it will help take care of your employees. And in this case, you would want and need to negotiate terms with your employees' specific needs in mind. After all, they came to work for you, not another organization. So you want to make sure that everybody's on board with this. Some of the pros is you'll be able to negotiate the terms of this special acquisition, which hopefully means profit for you and a successful future for your employees. And then you'll have a clean exit from your business and you won't have to worry about lingering responsibilities or obligations. Some of the cons, as we mentioned with typical mergers or acquisitions, this process can be costly, time-consuming, and difficult. Plus, you may not be able to find a buyer interested in an acquihire. And then another con is, once again, you'll be losing the legacy of your business that you created. So if that's important to you, then this may not be a good exit strategy. Number 4 is management or employee buyout. This is very common. And although it may be difficult to plan ahead for many of these methods, it is possible that when you're ready to exit your business, people who already work for you may want to buy your company from you. These individuals know you and know how to manage the organization. This business exit strategy could result in a smoother transition and increase loyalty to your business's legacy. Because these individuals are already part of your business and they likely know you so well, they may allow for flexibility in terms of your involvement, and perhaps they'll want to keep you on as a mentor or advisor. Some of the pros here is you can hand off your business to someone who has experience in the organization and that you hopefully know and trust. Another pro is, as you're still selling the business, you should be able to make some money off of this deal as well. If you want to remain involved in some capacity, the employees who are buying your business should be more likely to make something work, and your business's legacy will remain somewhat intact. Some of the cons is you may not be able to find an employee or manager who wants to buy the business from you, and you may find that these management changes are difficult to implement and may have a negative effect on existing clients. So obviously all these have pros and cons. You just have to weigh those. The fifth option to consider is sell your stake to a partner or investor. If you aren't the sole proprietor of your business, it's possible to sell off just your stake to a business partner or investor. This can be a relatively business as usual exit strategy depending on the buyer. Some of the pros here is your business legacy will remain intact, and for the most part, your business should continue to function as usual. You can exit your business fully and hopefully earn a profit on the sale of your share of the business, and you're dealing with a buyer you already know and work with. So the process should be much easier to approach in this way. Some cons is you may not find a buyer or investor who's willing to purchase your share. It may be more difficult to stay involved in your business in any capacity, and then the process could end up being contentious between you and your partner or investor, leading to a range of potential problems. So these are all things to consider under this exit strategy. Number 6, you can take your business public with an IPO. Many entrepreneurs actually dream of one day selling their business to the public for a large profit. However, in the realm of small business exit strategy planning, this method certainly isn't for everyone. Business conditions need to be just right for this option to be possible. Even if your business is booming, your industry may not appeal to the public in a way that gets stock buyers excited. And this actually could devalue your company. Not to mention the fact that IPOs are very rare, whereas domestic public companies in the US reached about 8,000 out of millions in the late 90s, and the number has fallen to around 3,600 in recent years. That being said, however, if it's possible for you and the conditions are right, an IPO can be very, very lucrative. The pros here, out of all of the business exit strategies out there, this is probably the one that's most likely to earn you a substantial profit. The cons, and there are many here, this is probably one of the most difficult exit strategies, requiring certain conditions and significant time, effort, and money. Going public also means intense scrutiny from stockholders and analysts, as well as a number of requirements like business valuation that must be met and processes that must be completed. And another con is IPO success is very difficult and very rare, especially for small to medium-sized businesses. The seventh exit strategy to consider is to simply liquidate your business. As an exit strategy business plan goes, this is one of the most final. If you liquidate, you'll be closing your business and selling your assets. This being said, however, liquidation doesn't have to mean defeat, just an ending to a chapter. If you decide that this is what you want to do, just remember that you'll need to use the cash you earn through the process to pay off any debts and pay out any shareholders if you have them. You'll also want to remember how this option may affect employees as well as clients or customers who rely on your products and services. Pros here, you'll never have to worry about the business again, free of the chains involved in trying to preserve a legacy. And then compared to some other business exit strategies, this could be one of the simplest and quickest methods. Cons, you likely won't get the biggest return on investment with this option either. This strategy means possibly severing relationships with employees, partners, clients, customers, and anyone else involved with the day-to-day or general operation of your business. And this last one we're going to talk about will be the least popular, and that is actually declaring bankruptcy. As for small business exit strategy planning goes, this last method is the option that you can't really plan for. Ultimately, no one wants to file for bankruptcy. However, this could be your last resort if something goes wrong or you never manage to plan ahead with any of the other exit strategies listed above. In fact, sometimes the necessity for a bankruptcy filing comes before you're ready. But in the life cycle of businesses, it's not the end of the world. Although you may have assets seized and troublesome credit that will need to be rebuilt, you'll be relieved of debts and the burden of the business if things get really bad. Unfortunately, the possibility of bankruptcy is one of the many risks involved with starting a business and owning a business. Therefore, if the option of bankruptcy does become a reality for you, you'll want to be sure you understand exactly what happens when you file business bankruptcy for chapters 7, 11, and 13. So even within that realm, there are different options to consider. So what are the pros? This official step will relieve you of the responsibilities and debts of your business, and you'll be able to move on from your business and start to rebuild your credit. There are obvious cons here. You may not be able to relieve all of your debts when filing bankruptcy. A bankruptcy filing will likely affect your ability to borrow credit in the future, at least for quite a long time. And this process will likely mean the untimely end of relationships with anyone involved with running your business, as well as clients and customers. So some important questions to ask for your business exit strategy. Where do you begin when it comes to small business exit strategy planning? Although much of what's ultimately involved with your exit strategy will be unique to your business, there are a few questions you can ask yourself to get started in your exit plan development. Do you want to stay involved in the business forever? When you're just starting your business, this question might seem almost counterintuitive. Yet even at an early stage in your endeavor, it's important to be realistic. And this means thinking far into the future and considering your business exit strategy plan. Even if you spend your entire career owning the business, most people eventually plan to retire at a certain age, or for other reasons, they have to retire due to health or possible other changes in family circumstances. So have you set up your business to make that a possibility down the line? You want to look at your planned retirement, and also you want to make sure that you're protected and your family's protected if something happens to you. Maybe you know that you can only withstand business ownership for up to 10 years. In your eyes, what would you ideally like to happen at that point? Would you still want to be involved in the business even if you weren't the owner? These are important questions to ask yourself in order to make the appropriate plans. It might even be a good idea to revisit how you feel about these questions year over year as your life and plans evolved. And then you want to look at what are your financial goals. This of course is different for everyone. As much as you might love the concept of your business or the good it's doing in the world, almost every entrepreneur has financial needs and goals playing into their business plans. And unfortunately, almost 70% of entrepreneurs don't regularly save for retirement outside of their business. Whatever your goals may be, this question will greatly play into your exit strategy outcome. And then other questions, how do you actually plan for an exit? Many business owners work with consultants or professionals to help them make the best decision. So an accountant or a financial advisor or a business attorney or a combination of all those advisors would be helpful. That being said, once you've asked yourself the first two questions, you might work with a professional for help developing an exit strategy as a part of your actual business plan. At that point, you'll need to attend to the executable items such as taxes, deal structure, and so on. You also need to understand the full value of your company to understand what your options might be. So the exit strategy planning process is all about crystallizing your personal and business goals to make the best decision for your business at the appropriate time of exit. If your exit is in the immediate future, you need to choose one plan and stick with it. But if you have the time to plan ahead, as we've mentioned, you should be thinking about this from the beginning. It's a good idea to set yourself up for multiple options. Fortunately, you've got numerous exit strategy options to choose from when thinking about the future of your business. So the bottom line is, at the end of the day, as is the case with many parts of running a business, there's no one size fits all business exit strategy. Ultimately, the exit strategy that's right for you and your business will depend on a number of different factors and may change or develop as you progress through the life cycle of your business. The best thing you can do with regard to an business exit strategy plan is to actually plan ahead. Even when you start your business, you should consider the possibilities with regard to leaving your business. And when the time comes, if you're proactive in thinking about this process and what it might look like, you're going to have a much higher rate of success in executing this when the time comes. So as always, we invite you to take advantage of our complimentary discovery session, talk about what might be viable options for you for both your business and your personal finances. We would love to talk with you, not only learn about what you're doing in your business, but help make sure that the successful transition into the next cycle of your business is discussed and part of your actual successful written business plan. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week on Friday's Focus on Finances. Thanks, everybody.